Many years ago, my father was the last of a band of Viking warriors tasked with protecting the Helm of Power from the forces of evil. Now, he is feasting in the halls of Valhalla, the eternal reward for every warrior. Odin has now tasked me with the protection of this sacred helmet. For Odin, for my father, I will give my life to keep it safe, mostly by trying not to crush it in my manly hands.
Welcome to Mike's Gaming Gala. I'm Mike, and this week, at long last, we're looking at Norseman 2 for the Intellivision, published by Cote Gamers. Now, unfortunately, this physical version is no longer available. However, Intellivision Collector does have the ROM available for sale. Norseman 2 came in a professionally printed box with a nice thick manual, a mini poster, some collector cards, and a 3D printed cartridge with a cool inset graphic of our hero. This was the choice of my members for review in August, and that works for me since I've wanted to do this one for ages. Now that I have it, and my members want it, let's have a look.
After the splash screen, we get a title menu with an ominous theme to prepare us for our upcoming adventure. Here, we have the choice to start a new game, adjust our options, or view the credits. Options available here are our skill level from normal, hard, and insane, as well as whether we want the music on or off. Pressing start, we see a familiar layout with a command we should remember: protect the helmet.
Norseman 2 is a sequel to Norseman, also published by Cote Gamers and also available as a ROM purchase from Intellivision Collector. I did a review on Norseman way back in 2023 if you want to check it out. I wouldn't call experience with it required before you play this game, but it's definitely a great game in its own right.
The playfield is the same as the original game, as is the goal: to protect the sacred helmet from hordes of evil creatures trying to capture it. At the top of the screen, from left to right, is which wave we're on, how much gold we have, our attack and defense values, our character's level, and finally, our health. Monsters will spawn at the top of the screen in waves and take turns moving through the environment. Their task is to either kill you or touch the helmet. Either of these will result in a game over, so you'll have to destroy them first in order to do well. Monsters always move down. They can't move up, so at any given time there are only 3 hexes that they can go to. If you're in one of those hexes when they move to it, you'll be attacked. But if you move into their hex, you'll attack them. When an enemy dies, its corpse litters the battlefield and becomes impassable for a short time before wasting away. You can use this to your advantage. Since enemies can only move down, if they find themselves trapped by impassable hexes, they'll die without you having to do a thing. Unlike the first game, this combat isn't one-hit kill. Both you and your enemies have defense values and health that can protect you from hits as they come. Each time you're hit, if you have a defense value higher than 0, your shield will take the blow and that defense value will drop by 1. Once that's gone, your HP can absorb a little more before that fatal blow takes place. Regardless of how high your defense or health are, if you're standing in a hex when a monster teleports in, you'll be instantly telefrayed, so be very careful hanging out near the top. You can move the helmet in order to place it out of harm's way by pressing the button to pick it up and pressing it again to put it down. When you have the helmet on though, you'll move very slowly, so be careful. At the end of each wave, and as you make it to later waves, enemies will have higher defense values, requiring more attacks to defeat. This is where your attack value comes into play. There are a couple ways that you can upgrade your attack value in order to kill stronger enemies quicker.
Thankfully, Odin made sure to make some friends available to you in order to help you defend this very important helmet.
As you play, you'll see certain icons appear in the playfield that aren't there to hurt you. These are gold chests, blacksmiths, traveling mages, and mysterious horsemen. If an enemy touches any of these, they'll disappear, but don't worry, they'll be back. Killing enemies gets you gold. as does collecting the treasure chests when they appear. Once you've collected some, you'll be able to engage with blacksmiths and mages by moving to them in order to spend those precious funds. The blacksmith has weapons and armor of different qualities for you to purchase to increase your attack and defense values. You can also visit the blacksmith when your gear is damaged in order to repair it. The blacksmith is likely to be your most vital ally, as especially later in the game, you'll need the best gear you can get in order to take on each wave of the horde. The traveling mage has a variety of items that will make your life a lot easier as well. First is the health potion, which will instantly restore your HP to its full value. Next is my personal favorite, the boots of speed. These allow you to move quicker, allowing you to get the jump on enemies and maneuver to defend the helmet easier. Third is the ring of phasing. This permits you to move off the side of the playfield and appear on the other side. All enemies have this ability, so being able to match them can come in handy. The icon of deceit basically acts as a landmine. It's invisible to enemies, and any creature that enters the hex it's deployed in instantly dies. When you have it, press 1 to deploy. Last but not least is the Hail Mary of items, the Eye of Fate. This simply gives you a 50% chance of surviving a killing blow from an enemy. I wouldn't call this one a priority, but definitely a nice to have for when you inevitably end up in a hopeless situation. You can purchase the health potion as many times as you want, but the other items are one and done.
The next friend you can interact with is the mysterious horseman. But before we can talk about him, we have to talk about Odin and his quests.
Being a Viking god, Odin has a thirst for blood and finds all of this violence very entertaining. While you're going about your business, sometimes the music will change and you'll see a quest appear at the bottom of the screen. Quests are simple. You have to kill a set amount of enemies within a time limit. The first number beside an hourglass is the amount of time you have to complete your quest. And the second number beside a sword is the amount of enemies that you have to kill. If you complete the quest in time, Odin is pleased, and you'll see a Send Mortal appear along with a glowing icon with the silhouette of the helmet on it. When this happens, pick up the helmet and then bring it to the icon. When you do this, you'll level up. Leveling up increases your max HP, as well as allows you to potentially learn more spells. Yes, you can get spells. Once you reach certain levels, new spells will become available, brought by the mysterious horseman. When he appears on the screen, move him to receive a gift from Odin that can be used to greatly increase your effectiveness on the battlefield. Based on your level, there are 4 different gifts that you can receive. The first is the gift of ubiquity. Should you kill a blue and green monster sequentially, this gift will become activated. When activated, press 2 on the number pad to release it, killing all enemies on the same horizontal plane as you're on. The second gift is the gift of frost. Killing blue and cyan monsters to activate, then releasing with the 3 button, this will freeze all the enemies on the screen for a short period of time. Great for stopping them in their tracks and cutting them down. The third gift is Loki's Ray. Here you have to kill green and white monsters to activate, but when you release it with the 4 button, a powerful beam emits from your position at random times, killing any enemy unfortunate enough to be in your vicinity. This will continue for a short time, so feel free to get close to anyone you can. Last but not least is the 4th gift, which is Transcendence. Killing white and purple monsters to activate and pressing 5 to release will allow you to walk literally wherever you want, with the ability to pass through obstacles. At any given time, you may have multiple of these spells activated, but you can only release one of them at a time. If Loki's Ray is running, for instance, you can't activate Frost until Loki's Ray has run its course. These gifts are also tied to your level. Failing to complete a quest will make Odin upset with you. Should this happen, you'll see Quest Failed at the bottom of the screen and you'll go down a level. Should you drop below the required level for a spell, you won't be able to use it again until you regain that level. so it's always important to put a priority on completing quests when you can. When the inevitable happens, and either you die or the helmet is captured, you're treated with a game over screen that shows you your score, as well as a high score. Encouragement to try again and fulfill your destiny as a Viking warrior.
And that's Norseman 2 for the Intellivision. So what did I think? Well, if you liked the first Norseman game, this takes that and ramps it up to 11, allowing the game to increase in scope pretty drastically. As for me, I absolutely love the original. And initially, I was a little wary that this would lose that simple yet addictive gameplay. But then, when I started playing it, I was so happy to see that while it keeps the feel, it actually is even more addictive. Norseman 2 is frantic and intense. You're constantly balancing priorities. Do I kill that guy or do I try to upgrade my equipment? Do I fulfill Odin's challenge or do I try and heal myself? You'll be constantly bombarded with these choices while also trying to protect the helmet, and I'm totally here for it. Highly recommended. Go get yourself the ROM and have some fun. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you liked it, and thank you so much to my channel members who voted for me to review this one. I appreciate the support so much. As always, my contact info is in the description, and we'll see you next time on Mike's Gaming Gala.